The silver screen's most iconic tough guy, Humphrey Bogart, was more than just his tough guy persona. Behind the swagger, the fedora, and the cigarette, there was a man with hidden complexities, deeply scarred by tragedy, love, and secrets that Hollywood tried to bury. But tonight, we unravel the truth about one of the most enigmatic stars ever to grace the screen. This is The Secret Life of Humphrey Bogart. 1. The Mysterious Beginnings. A star is born in the shadows. Born in 1899 in New York City, Bogart was far from the polished, charismatic screen legend he would become. Growing up in an upper-class family, he was expected to follow a respectable path, but he wasn't one for conventionality. Despite an early struggle with stuttering, he managed to carve his own path. With a rough childhood marked by rebellion and a stint in the Navy during World War I, he didn't fit the mold of the typical Hollywood star. As the son of an acclaimed surgeon and a socialite, he had the world at his fingertips, but something about the glamour never truly appealed to him. Instead, he found himself lured into the world of theater and acting, a place where he could channel his pain into something powerful. It was here, under the shadow of rejection and constant self-doubt, that Humphrey Bogart began to understand the true meaning of Hollywood fame. 2. Fame and the rise of the tough guy image. In the early 1930s, Bogart struggled to find his place in Hollywood. For years, he played small roles in low-budget films, often relegated to parts as gangsters or supporting characters. However, his breakthrough came when he landed the role of Duke Manty in The Petrified Forest, 1936, which catapulted him into the limelight. This was the beginning of the Bogart persona, a sharp-tongued, hardened tough guy with a heart of gold. His role as the infamous gangster in The Maltese Falcon, 1941, solidified this image. Suddenly, he was the symbol of rugged masculinity and a symbol of the American dream gone wrong. But despite his rise to fame, there was something raw and unsettling about his characters that resonated with audiences. 3. Love, lust, and loss. His tumultuous romantic life. Bogart's love life mirrored the tumult of his on-screen characters. His first marriage to actress Mayo Method was a stormy affair marked by alcohol abuse, jealousy, and public fights that made headlines. However, it was his second marriage to actress Lauren Bacall that defined him both personally and professionally. Their whirlwind romance on the set of To Have and Have Not, 1944, became the stuff of Hollywood legend. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their love story felt like a fairy tale, but it wasn't all roses. Behind the romance, Bogart was battling inner demons. His marriage to Bacall was marked by his constant struggles with drinking and his growing bitterness about the toll his fame had taken on him. Despite these struggles, Bacall became the love of his life, and their bond never truly faded until his death. The battle with demons, personal struggles behind the curtain. For all his tough guy charm, Bogart was a man torn apart by insecurities and addictions. As his fame grew, so did his personal struggles. Alcoholism was a constant battle throughout his career, something that was often hidden from the public eye. But the real darkness came with his health. A diagnosis of esophageal cancer in the mid-1950s left him a shadow of his former self. Despite being gravely ill, Bogart continued working, even as the disease ravaged his body. His once boisterous energy began to dissipate, and those closest to him could see that the man they knew and loved was slipping away. The final act, death and the lasting legacy. Bogart's death on January 14, 1957, at the age of 57, shocked Hollywood. He passed away at a time when his career was at its peak, but his illness had left him a shell of the man he once was. His final years were marked by a desperation to live, despite the relentless pull of death. But even in his last moments, he remained fiercely private, leaving his personal life mostly unknown to his fans. His death marked the end of an era, and yet, his legacy continues to shape Hollywood to this day. 6. A haunting final thought. The man behind the myth. Humphrey Bogart's life was a mixture of contradictions. A man who embodied toughness, yet was consumed by vulnerability. His legacy, filled with iconic roles and unforgettable lines, still stands tall. But there's a darker story beneath that suave exterior. A man who was deeply troubled, fighting demons he could never fully escape. What if the toughest guys on screen are the most fragile behind the scenes? And what if the true story of Humphrey Bogart, the man, will never be fully known?